welcome to Heads Up. Last week, there has been an incident of bullying at a school in Gwalior that has left a class 8-year-old boy battling for his life. The beast of bullying is one that has haunted the country for many years, and last week, the beast reared its ugly head once again. Today on the show, we're discussing bullying. Are we turning a blind eye? To discuss that, we have two first-year students from Delhi University. To my right is Siddhant, who is arguing for the motion. He's saying that yes, we are turning a blind eye to bullying. And on my left is Barnika Bhuyan, who is saying that no, we are not. Siddhant, we're going to start with you. You have 1 minute on the clock. Why do you think we're turning a blind eye towards bullying?
Right, exactly. I think the problem with this is that most people are too afraid to come out with their concerns about bullying, right? So when eventually they do come out, they come out when they've reached the breaking point of bullying. They've come to the limit where they cannot take it any longer. But why are we actually waiting for them to reach that limit and then come up with the concern, right? So I think the biggest problem is that today a child is not living in isolation. He has his peers, and if he comes out with a concern like bullying, he will face backlash from both his peers as well as his seniors. So at the end of the day, since the child has to be an active part of the society he is living in, if he goes ahead and reports a case, he becomes infamous. There's so many concerns, he feels alienated in the world. So why would a child rather come out with a case instead of just taking it in? And that's exactly what we're doing nowadays, right? The people are like just internalizing all the depression, all the kind of negative consequences of a case like bullying, and until they reach the breaking point where they've been crippled into a state of fear where they cannot take it any longer.
Okay,
so I think we're waiting too long to contact the.
So you're saying we're not turning a blind eye to bullying. It's the students who are not coming up and reporting those cases of bullying. Okay, Barnika, you have 1 minute. Why do you believe that we are looking at bullying? We're not turning a blind eye.
See, whenever the issue of bullying comes up, in my personal opinion, I would rather be a perfect nobody than to be an evil somebody. The issue we're discussing, I believe that we are not turning a blind eye to the issue. We already have laws in place. We've had the Raghavan committee which submitted a 17 issue and which stated down clearly as to what we should do to stop bullying. So if we already have these things at place, I don't really think that we are doing anything wrong. Moreover, coming from an army background, what I've been taught, we should toughen up in life. If a child doesn't really face the hardships in life, how will he learn as to what is stored in life? I mean, in future, bullying doesn't stop in school. It will continue in college. It will continue at his workplace. So we can't really just say that we're not doing enough. We've done enough, but yes, the child needs to toughen up.
Okay, so you're saying the child needs to toughen up, but are you justifying certain cases of bullying happening in school, or are you talking about that some types of bullying are okay?
I'm not justifying bullying,
okay,
and bullying of any form is not good. But yes, I am saying that we have taken the necessary steps.
Okay.
Let it be in schools. We've had principals talk about how they've installed CCTVs because it will create a psychological pressure on the bully. End of the day, let's not forget, even the bully is a kid. So we've had CCTVs, we have the prefectorial board in school which actually looks up into the grievances of the students. So yes, necessary steps are being taken.
Okay. Siddhant, she's saying the necessary steps are being taken and we are trying to stop bullying. Do you agree with that?
Okay, firstly, terms like toughening up might sound pretty good on paper, but we need to understand that every child is different. Everyone has different capabilities to deal with stress, to deal with bullying, right? I mean, what might be good for one might not be good for another. We have no way to judge from what background a certain child comes from. So we cannot generalize the entire context of bullying into the entire population, right? The second thing would be that since we were talking about how the bullying might be good for some cases, might be bad, but it's a very slippery slope argument, right? We cannot decide to the extent till which bullying is good for someone. I mean, today for a certain society, for a certain school, bullying might have a different definition, and for another society it might have a different definition, right? So I think we need to draw a line between what is acceptable and what is not.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the good and bad aspects of bullying. Let's just say that bullying is happening at different levels.
Yes.
And are we ignoring it or are we not giving it the right amount of attention that it should be? When cases are reported by the media, and how she was talking about the committee that has presented certain things to schools and colleges as well, do you believe that that's a case of that there's progress that is happening and that people are taking bullying into account?
Yes, I think whatever case is reported in the media gets its traction on the entire national scale, right? But therein lies the point. Only the cases that are being reported are getting the traction. What about the thousands of other cases that are going unnoticed every day? I mean, today you come up with an example of a school where certain case happens, but there are so many other schools. Do we just turn a blind eye on them just because they're not being reported, or just because we don't have certain resources or high portfolio members there, right? So we need to understand that we need to curb this problem of bullying from the very grassroots level. We need to urge the children to come up with their problems and to share it with people. But the biggest concern today is that a child is so fearful for his own safety,
Afraid of saying that I'm
of being
bullied.
alienated. Exactly. So he does not come up with the problem, and that needs to be addressed. The media will do its job of addressing any issue that comes up. But what about the individual child's capability?
As you're saying that a child is fearful to accept his problem, so for that we have anonymity. Anonymity is maintained. We have these boxes in school where if a child is facing some problem, he can write it down and put it there, and it is duly checked by the teachers, by the principal of the school. So I don't really think that should be a problem. And moreover, we have psychologists, we have counselors in school which can actually help the child to battle this problem. So I don't really feel that a child should have problem. If he's being bullied, he can really, in today's time, he can express his concern, he can really accept it.
Okay. Monica, that's a valid point, but what about those students? I mean, when we hear about cases in the media, like he said, the worst has already happened. So what do we do about that? Why is it getting to that point? Why are we turning a blind eye when the bullying is happening from the start or sometime in the middle? And we only hear about it once it's reached like a terrible end. So what about that? Why aren't we looking at it earlier?
There are many cases, which have turned ugly. For that, I would like to say that we have these institutions. We have something called as Bright. We have Sparks, which are actually taking all these steps. Like they actually, if such cases are reported, so they can actually find the school, the colleges. They have if such cases do happen, so steps are being taken. So if situation turns ugly in the end, so I guess it should be curbed before. So for that we have psychologists, counselors. That is when they come into action.
Okay, so thanks. So Varnika is saying that we're not turning a blind eye because schools are aware that bullying happens and there are things in place to ensure that that doesn't happen. What would you say to those who perhaps take bullying to maybe a different level that is more than pushing, shoving and psychological? What happens when it starts going online and you get to cyberbullying? You feel that we're ignoring that and turning a blind eye to that as well?
Yes, exactly, because today the online sphere has taken such a huge part in our life that we cannot just refute the evidence of it on our lives, right? So what we need to understand again here is that bullying is spreading to new arenas where it never was. And our laws which have been passed on it are so archaic today that we're not actually addressing the new spheres of, let's say, cyberbullying, and tomorrow it might open a new avenue of bullying, right? So we need to understand that laws have been there, but the children are not aware of it. The children today, as I was a child in school, I was not aware of any law that was against bullying, right? I did not myself know the definition of bullying. I just did whatever was told to me by my senior because I thought that was right. But we need to make the child aware of his rights. We need to make the child aware that this is not right and that what is wrong. And I think that's wherein the school needs to come up with a certain information dissemination channel between the students and the teachers. They can do that. And about the point of it having psychologists and certain resources in school, I think the private schools can do that, but what about the government schools? They don't have enough fund to even have proper staff. And there is bullying cases even in those schools, right? So how would they come up with a concern like this? How would they address this concern as something that needs to be considered?
As you said that psychologists is something what only the private schools can have, then I guess Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan has recently passed a thing that psychologists will be made compulsory in all the KVs around our country. So I don't really think that should be an issue. And bullying, as we are not turning a blind eye, we have done enough. Let's talk about cyberbullying. What do you think will be the apt way of stopping it? What are your suggestions like? I mean, how will you try to...
Cyberbullying is one thing that's extremely on the rise. You know, you have people who make a Facebook page targeting a certain person. You have mean comments on pictures. That's bullying as well. It's just a different type of bullying that we haven't seen before. Do you believe that we're turning a blind eye to cyberbullying as well?
We're not.
We're not. Okay.
For me, I believe let's just shut our laptops and let's just move outside. Let's just see the world. I mean, we've become so constrained. We've just reduced our arena to just this virtual world that we're not in touch with the reality anymore. So I guess if you just pause and just sit back and just look, I guess this will help.
But for situations like cyberbullying, do you feel that schools are doing enough to prevent that? to prevent people from going on and writing mean comments on a picture or creating a Facebook page? It can be argued that what the student does at home is his or her business.
We cannot. Yeah.
So do you feel that schools these days are doing enough to prevent that? Because there is a lot of that out there.
There is.
So do you think that schools are doing enough?
We already have laws at place. So if the child, what more the school can do is they can actually tell the child about his rights, about the laws which are there. If he feels that he is being bullied or something wrong is happening, I guess the school, at best, they can actually tell the child what all laws are there, so that at least if something ever goes wrong, so he can actually take the necessary action and steps.
Siddhant, so she's spoken a lot about the things that you have in place in schools. You have laws, there's a box where you can drop your comments on to someone if they're troubling you. What is your response to, despite having all these things, why aren't we being able to stop bullying? Why are there still cases of it?
I think the main concern here is that we have not been able to control bullying. Recently, the spate of incidents that have risen actually have come from the fact that today a child looks upon bullying as a tradition. That is something that's been carried on over the years, and because he was bullied at school, so he believes that his junior should be bullied at school, right? So I think while on paper it's pretty good to tell the child that there are bullying laws and you can just come up with to us if you have any problem. But you're not addressing the concern of why the senior who was bullied himself will not go ahead and bully his junior, right?
So you're saying it's a cyclical thing?
It's a cycle. It's just something that's going to be repeated year after year. So we need to draw a stopping point for it, right? We need to end the chain at some level. But what we have been unable to do is we have been coming up with laws, we have been coming up with certain procedures to stop it. But the practical aspect of that law is not reaching the student. I mean, before a child commits, before a senior goes ahead and bullies a junior, I don't think the law is the first thing that's on his mind, right? Today, if I ask a junior to do something, I would not care about what the law is. I would go ahead and do that because it's been internalized into my psyche. As a senior, I'm entitled to do that. So I think that's what needs to be addressed.
Varnika, your response to that bullying is something, like we said, that happens in schools, it happens in colleges.
Okay.
And because you were bullied and because you were ragged, you sort of do that as well to your juniors. So when someone feels that there's a culture like this that is developing or that is there already, do you still feel that the school authorities are turning a blind eye towards it when they know that this might happen?
See, this vicious cycle, as you say, continues, that if I'm being bullied by my seniors, so I'll bully my juniors. So that I don't think is correct, because see, if we are being bullied by our seniors, so yes, we should report it then and there. We should not have this attitude that yes, I will do the same to my my juniors. We should not really bear that grudge. If we have a problem, speak up, we have the authority, reach out to them. That is the solution, rather than just having the thing that yes, I will even I'm going to bully my juniors. I don't think that is justified.
No, that's fine. I understand that, right? But you said the person who's bullying the other person is actually a child. So how do you explain it to the child?
We're going to get to how we can solve this. I have one question. Okay. When someone is getting bullied in school,
yes,
his friends probably know about it, or someone knows that this is the senior that comes and bullies this junior.
Yes.
Is it called, this is for both of you, is it turning a blind eye if a fellow student does not report a case of bullying? If you know your friend is being, do you feel that that's turning a blind eye?
Yes. And to stop that, I really believe that a mutual, moreover a moral understanding needs to be developed in the child. He should be told what exactly is bullying. Like just asking to do something may not be bullying. So he needs to be told, he needs to be taught what exactly is bullying, so that he knows what actions can be taken.
I understand that he needs to be told, right? But what my main point of contention here is that we need to set an example, we need to set a precedent, we need to have stricter laws that will tell others that it is unacceptable, right? Right now, the present system would just suspend a certain student from school and that would be the end of it. And that's actually looked upon as something cool, right? So we need to come up with a stronger punishment that would tell every child in the school that it is something that is unacceptable and the institution will not stand for it. So I think that is something that needs to be strictly looked into, the laws of it.
Varnika, your final response to how we can solve bullying?
See, if you're asking for stricter laws, then I would say that the redemption value in the bully will not be developed. He needs to be told what he's done is wrong morally. Just asking him to just not attend classes for a few days, just rusticate him, that is not the solution. Morally, he needs to be told that what he has done to his fellow classmate or his junior is wrong. So I think if he develops that thinking, if he gets into that thought process that my actions are wrong, it hurts somebody, I guess the problem will be solved.
But won't letting him off easily also kind of be contradictory to the purpose?
I think both of you are actually now agreeing and saying the same point, which is that bullying happens, but it's about changing the culture. And if we believe that bullying is a culture and a senior feels I was bullied, so I will bully my junior, it's about exactly that culture that they think they have, changing that and educating both juniors and seniors on what is bullying and the harmful effects that it can have. Any final words on the, do you guys feel that you do agree now or still no?
See, we can reach to a consensus. It's like, moreover, we need to educate more. We need to tell them about the rights, so that if anything goes out of place, they can actually complain, and justice can be
I
done.
actually do not agree that we have reached a consensus, because I understand the society needs to come over with an organic change, right? We need to accept that bullying is something that is bad. But the thing is that today we have not been able to draw the line between what is acceptable and what is not. We have not been able to define the line, and that's why we have violent cases that have escalated into such a huge limit, and they've been like totally shattering for the child who might be just a junior, right? So we need to understand that, fine, the society with time will understand that bullying is unacceptable, but right now we need to curb this problem at its we need to nip it in its bud, right? We need to come up with a stronger solution right now. We cannot just wait for something after 5 years, how our psyche would change and how we'll be more open to the idea of bullying being a bad thing.
Okay. I think, Siddhant, you've put across your point very eloquently, and Barnik, I've got your point as well. They both sort of agree on some points, but then the consensus is that bullying exists, and the point is to nip it at its bud before we hear the worst case happening. We're going to slip into a short break, and we're going to be back with lots more.